Welcome back to Software Inc., everybody. I hope you're having a good one because, well, you know what I'm gonna say. I'm excited to be back. We are gearing up to release the N-Phone 2, which is hopefully going to be our most successful release ever. And hopefully, we're gonna get a whole bunch of other software out there into the world as well. So let's go ahead and get right to it. It is July 2006. The N-Phone 2 comes out in October of 2006. I'm pretty sure the manufacturing and printing is done. So we're kind of just waiting for all of my teams to finish it. And while doing that, I actually got a little bit impatient and went in and did a little bit of design around this main building. I started throwing some carpets underneath some of the exits to the elevator. I also changed the color of the elevator, and the lobbies as well have a little bit of extra carpet, as do the meeting rooms. And then going downstairs into the basement, I changed some of the lights. I made the lobbies look a little bit nicer. I got a little bored. I was just sitting around. I wanted to chill a little bit. I was warming up my voice, getting ready to record by belting out Linkin Park and Ghost songs, which is actually my usual go-to warm up the voice process. It works pretty well. Linkin Park, if you pick the right song. If you pick the wrong song, you're not going to be doing anything with your voice. I've also just realized that at one point, didn't we have like 5 million fans, and now somehow we're down to 2.4 million? I guess it's probably because we haven't released much of anything that put us in the map in a while, right? So our initial releases were, if we have a look here, was Horse Simulator, essentially. Wait, hold on, where's the original Horse Simulator? Is it archived? Ooh, it is. I forgot that was a thing. Hold on a minute. So I was wrong looking at this before. The first things we made were Vector and Vector 2. Essentially, we made 2D editors to get some money, and we haven't released one in almost 10 years. We did Amplitude 13 years ago. So it is probably for the best that we're working on new versions of all of that. We have Vertex Studio almost going into development, Vector Studio getting there, Amplitude Studio getting there. And we're also porting Captain Murderstab 2 over to a bunch of new systems. Basically, even though we don't have as many fans as we once did, we're still making pretty good money. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. And we have the N-Phone 2 coming up as well, so I'm really not going to complain. Ooh, a cat! Hello! Oh, look at you, you little chonker. Hello! I forgot these were things. Oh, look at him! Look at him! Can I like do anything with it? No. Look at him! He's great! I love him! I want to keep him! Seriously, look at this absolute unit of a cat! I know it's Software Inc., but suddenly I'm a lot more interested in this guy. Look at him! He's just doesn't have a neck! Oh, careful, let's be careful with where we're looking there. He doesn't have a... Ooh. Oh man, this game... I always forget that the game is a bit weird. Anyway, before we get into releasing N-Phone 2, let's go ahead and get Amplitude Studio into active development, since that is going to be quite important. But I also want to come into this floor here and start having a look at my support team, because their offices are still pretty miserable looking. So what I'd like to do is select this space and delete everything, and select this space and delete everything, and select this space and delete everything. I'd like to give them something that looks pretty good, and I don't just want to clone what we've done over here. I want to give them something that's a little different. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll grab all 3 rooms, and we'll give them a bit of a makeover internally. We'll go for a bit of a lighter sort of tan color instead of bright yellow. Let's go even lighter than that. More of an eggshell kind of off-white is what I'm looking for, which I think that's pretty good. And the floor is going to be... I'm going to go a little darker than the hallways, and I might give them like a little hint of sort of a brown in there. I don't know if that works. I kind of like that. I think that's okay. It's a bit different, and that's sort of what we're going for. And then in terms of everyone's desk, I mean, it's a support team, so everyone's going to have pretty similar setups. I might give them this one, though. I mean, it's environment. It boosts their environment. So let's give them this desk right here. Oh, by the way, I've seen a couple of people asking how you get these desks, both on my Discord and in the comments. you can complete these tasks right here. And I believe this is how you can unlock different things, essentially. So do those and you get cool stuff like these desks. Now, speaking of these desks, let's see what exactly I can do with it. And what exactly I want to do with it is sort of the question. I don't actually know. I guess we could sort of stack it this way if we really wanted to. I should probably just do one desk at a time, huh? So we'll do the one desk. I kind of want to give it the color of the room, so let's very quickly do that. And there we go. I think this looks pretty decent. I'm not sure what you're so miserable about. You like a team member, huh? Well, fair enough. I do like these spaces though. I think it's kind of nice. It's a little different. It is a little sort of, I could see it being a little 90s-ish, what with like the brown and beige and all of that going on, but it's different and that's what I wanted it to be. So let's get a count of how many chairs we have. We have 11 right there. We have 19 and then we have how many in total? 27. Okay, so if I go in and I look at my various teams, we go down to support, we can go to the day shift and we can say that we now want 27 people. And then for the night shift, it's going to be the same thing. We want to go to 27 people. And that should mean that both my support teams, with obviously the contract support team, can do pretty good work now. We shouldn't really run into any issues with tickets, and especially with the N-Phone 2 coming up, that is probably for the best. Now, the next thing I should probably do is get a look at my updates team because, well, actually we've got them about as good as they can be. And to be fair, the updates team are doing pretty good work. To be honest, you know? Oh, speaking of doing good work, the Sergeant Stabby Face pack is ready to go, so let's get that under development, and that's not going to take long at all, which is totally fine by me. But before we even start looking at printing any of this or doing anything with any of this, it's September. We have some people calling in sick. We have companies with more shares. But obviously, what I'm most interested in is the N-Phone. So let me have a look at distribution. Let me look at hardware manufacturing. The N-Phone 2 has 100,000 units in stock right now. It obviously doesn't have, and this is something I have seen a couple of comments on, it doesn't have the ideal number of, well, everything. It doesn't have the ideal number of controller printers or fingerprint scanner printers or final assembly assemblers. It could be better, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll manage. Now, what I would like to try and do here is very quickly see if we can get, well, you know what? I'm not going to update NerdOS. Is there anything we don't need to be marketing right now? The N-Phone's a tricky one, to be honest, because it's still making 4.2 million, but we're about to release the successor, and well, the successor might not be all that popular is kind of what I'm worrying about here, but I guess we'll find out. Also, that Sergeant Stabby Face pack is going amazingly well. Surprisingly, it's the art that's holding it back as well. I feel like that's not usually the case, but I think we'll be okay there. A visitor looking to strike. What's wrong with my lobby? Wait, what is wrong with my lobby? There's nothing wrong. Is it warm? It has like, yeah, it has heating. It has everything they could possibly want. So I don't know what they're complaining about. Now, speaking of places being clean, I did go in and change all of my cleaners a little bit. I decided to hire a few more. Let me sort by cleaning so we can actually get a good look at this. I hired a few more, but what I did was I went in initially and set them all to come in at 6 a.m. And then every 2 cleaners were set to come in at 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. You can sort of see that going down there all the way up to, I believe, 12 a.m. And then what I did was I hired 6 more and set them all to come in at 8, 6 more to come in at 1, and 6 more to come in at 10. So we have cleaners coming in all day in groups of 2, and then at specific times we have an extra 6 coming in just to make sure the place is as clean as it can possibly be. So hopefully that is actually going to keep the place nice and clean. And I mean, it's filthy right now. Let's see if, there we go. It's being cleaned up a little bit. I should say they haven't been assigned to buildings, so they are going to be going back and forth from here to the support building to potentially the printing building, but I'm not really too worried about that. Now, a lot of employees just called in sick, but what I want to look at are these guys, because they keep putting shares up for sale, and we're up 87.9% right now, so no complaints there. It's also October. It's also October 2006, which is N-Phone release time. And that has me nervous and excited. But before we do that, let's just get a quick look at Captain Murderstab. It's currently aiming for September 2009 for Captain Murderstab 3. That's fair enough. And then Horse Simulator 3, November 2010. It is going into development next year, though, which is kind of exciting. So hopefully they get brought forward. It feels like it's a few years too far away for those releases, but we'll just leave them to it. I'm not going to take it over. Anyway, now that it is October properly, let's get this thing out here. Almost 1,000 fixed bugs. Let's release the N-Phone 2 and see what people think. I'm kind of curious. It's ambitious, very stable, 5 stars, 5 stars, 3 stars. Okay. We're going to do something interesting here. We're going to give it $100,000 a month in marketing because we can afford it. Again, I've seen a couple of comments that are like, hey, why don't you just give unlimited budgets to marketing? I don't think we need to do that, but I do think we can get away with $100,000 in marketing budgets for something like the N-Phone 2, at least for the first year. For support on this thing, that is going to be the top priority, and we want to make sure, yep, my 4 teams have it, and we should be fine. In fact, let's try and update this thing. It's 2006. Let's bring the networking up to 2004. Let's bring the 2D up to 2003, the hardware up to 2002, and the systems up to 2003. And in terms of teams that can do this, we're going to give it to everybody that's relevant. So updates, of course, but we also want to get the 2D team in here. We want to get the, let's see, we're doing networking. So networking team on this. We want to get the systems team on this. And that should be fine. We can also fix bugs if and when they come up, and we'll put this on source control. We'll get that update going, and we'll see what we can do. In fact, let's make that a top priority and see if we can get this update out before we even have sales figures. Let's see if we can get version 2.1 out the door, get this thing nicely updated, and see what happens. Also, Sergeant Stabby Face, promote that into beta, and let's see what we can do. You weren't a team leader, were you? No, you weren't. Okay. It looks like we can do it. We absolutely can. So we'll finish that. How much do we need to make for this to make a profit? It is outstanding. It was minus 26 million. It is more expensive than the original. So, ugh. All right. All right. Vertex Studio, get into alpha there. And let's see what happens. This is, I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous. But the N-Phone 2 is going to come in with a total day one sale of 23 million. Okay. Okay. All right. Man, I feel much better. I feel much better now. The N-Phone, I would imagine, yeah, it made less money. Let's end marketing on that one. And we can relax a little bit. That's pretty good. How many units are left in stock right now? How many did it sell? Wow, it almost sold all of them. There's 199 units left in stock on that thing. Wow, that's actually kind of impressive. Yeah, the N-Phone 2 sold out. That is actually really impressive. Okay, let's take a bit of a risk here. Let's go to the N-Phone 2. Let's say that this guy's maximum is now going to be like 10,000. Well, let's do like 25,000 units on the original. Let's bring this guy up to 200,000. We're going to be spending a lot of money to, you know, manufacture this thing, get it out the door, and all of that. It's going to be a tremendous amount of money. but I think that's okay. And I think we can manage. I will happily take all of that money that we just got. That 23 million. Absolutely love that. Also, we need to market the Sergeant Stabby Face pack. Let's get my marketers on that. That seems like a great idea. When do we want to release this thing? It is November 2006. When did Sergeant Stabby, or when did Captain Murderstab 2 come out? That's my question. So Captain Murderstab 2 was May 2006. You know what? May 2007 seems like a good time for the expansion. In fact, I think we could do February. I don't think it's going to be too buggy. So we'll do that as a, wow, that just got some followers. Wow. Okay. Let's get my 4 marketing teams on that. Let's put out a press build on that. And that's pretty good. We also probably want to hype this thing as well. So we'll get everybody doing that as well, if they don't mind. I am actually quite pleased with the fact that we have just managed, wow, that thing is popular. I'm quite pleased with that. This feels like a really good time for the company. I'm not going to lie. This feels like a great time. I'm really enjoying this. I also want to see how the N-Phone does in its 2nd month of sales, because it should and does have more units in stock. So 23 million, is it going to go up or down? It went to 27 million. It went up. Another interesting detail is that Captain Murderstab 2 keeps selling out. We have no units of that in stock right now, which is remarkable. I'm also going to hide my archived stuff now that it's, no longer available. So that says to me that we need to go back into software printing. This thing, 100,000 units a month is not enough. So let's go for 200,000 copies of Captain Murderstab 2. We'll get those in stock. We'll see what happens. We'll see if that helps. And man, that's remarkable. Can we have a look at maybe porting that to our new operating system? Is that something we can do? Unfortunately, it is not, but that's fine. We have this guy that we should probably port the game to, just to get a couple of extra sales there. So we'll port it to those 2. And that'll be fine. And I guess we just keep making money. I guess the next thing is the Sergeant Stabby Face pack goes out, which has 76,000 followers. Oh no, I probably need to print that thing. All right. Let's go for 200,000 copies of that as well. Hopefully that doesn't sell out. You know, what's really interesting about the sales at the moment is that we're not actually making that much money because we're spending so much to print this phone. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. In fact, we're spending so much to make the phone that we still haven't made a profit, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The good news is we have got units of it in stock. We have units of Captain Murderstab in stock as well. So that's not too bad. The Sergeant Stabby Face pack though, I'm quite concerned about how many followers that thing has. That is quite scary. I have never seen that many followers for anything that I've ever made in Software Inc. That is a remarkable number. Now, we just had a couple of people retire. Neither of them were team leaders, so that's probably for the best. It doesn't necessarily upset anything. Let's see. You're still in design, still aiming for December. You go into alpha this June, and you are this March, you go into alpha. Okay. So we might see some dates get shuffled around a little bit. So it's February, which means it's time for the Sergeant Stabby Face pack to go out to the world. Let's go ahead and release this thing and see what people think. We've heard rumors of Nerdosoft. They're going strong in marketing. Never encountered a bug. I will take that. That is pretty good right there. In terms of a budget for this guy, I'm going to go 65,000. That is not thousand. About 65,000 seems like a pretty good number. I don't think we need to go too crazy on Sergeant Stabby Face. There were a lot of people following it already. It's already widespread as well, and it is outstanding, hopefully. Yes, it is. It's also the first time in, what is that, 21 years? I think, yeah, that'd be about the first time in 21 years that we've released an expansion for anything, which is pretty cool. So we got that going for us. Man, I'm actually hoping it may, I wasn't, I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting Captain Murderstab to do as well as it's doing. I hope this expansion does good for it. That'd be nice. You know, just see a ridiculous amount of money come in from this this silly little game expansion. Oh, we were getting robbed, but they went home empty-handed. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's see what the Sergeant Stabby Face pack does. Minus 65,000, $2 million. Okay. All right then. Captain Murderstab, 60 million in profit, 1.6 million from the add-on, $11 million from Captain Murderstab last month. Is there anything to port it to? Yes, actually, there is. There's a couple of operating systems, a couple of phone operating systems come out just in the last couple of months. So let's get that ported over and make sure everyone can play Captain Murderstab 2 on their mobile devices. And I guess, what are we doing next? I guess it's Amplitude Studio, Vertex Studio. Is Captain Murderstab, so did it move into, no, it was Horse Simulator that moves into development this month, wasn't it? Okay. Maybe it'll get brought forward? Maybe? It absolutely didn't. It's still aiming for November 2010, but I guess that might change with a little bit of time. Now, what's interesting to me is that Vector Studio is actually taking a little bit of a minute here to get going. I wasn't expecting it to take as long as it is with the design on 2D and systems, but, well, I guess it is. That is kind of surprising. Now, the good news is Amplitude Studio is ready to go into beta, so we'll get that going. Vertex Studio is not too far behind. So let's try and set up 2008 as our big year for subscription-based software. Because keep in mind, that's what this is. Amplitude Studio is subscription-based. So, you know, it's worrying. It's a little worrying. We've never done something like this before. We're going to be losing money on the initial sales, and that's what scares me. But in theory, well, in theory, we can make that money back through monthly subscriptions. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Now, let's start looking at some marketing here. And I'm thinking it is going to be 2008. I think Amplitude, well, actually, we need to look at what's coming up. So 2008, Amplitude Studio is an audio tool. We have an audio tool coming out in December. So in fact, we have 2 coming out in December. So let's aim for January on Amplitude Studio. So 2008, we're going to go for January. We're going to announce that release date. Vertex Studio is a 3D editor. And in 2008, we have 2 of them coming out in December. So let's aim for April on Vertex Studio. I might regret setting this date, but we're going to go for April 2008 on that one. And I'm going to just sort of rearrange these ever so slightly. And I want Vector Studio, which is our 2D editor. Where can I put you? I want to say October. I want to say we're going to go for October on Vector Studio. I might regret this. I really... There's a solid chance I might regret this decision. But I think we're gonna take that chance. We're gonna announce it. We're gonna say 2008. We're gonna say October. So Q1, Q2, and Q4 all have releases next year. And I guess we could start marketing Amplitude Studio since it is the first one that's going to be coming up. So we'll go ahead and get working on a press release there. We'll go ahead and throw a press build out there as well. And we'll see if people like it. I'll be kind of surprised if they're hyped about an audio tool since it's been a while since we've released it, but it's different. It's subscription based. It has a couple of followers. It has a few bugs, but that's okay. So I'll take it. That's good enough for me. Let's just make sure we're prioritizing Vertex over everything else, but that's good enough for me. Now, how are we doing for money? 18 million, 1.8 million. Not bad. Not bad. I'm so pleased with how Captain Murderstab has done. Another 11 million. Wait, is that the... that's not the same stat. Did we just get another 11 million on this thing? Where's the details? Let me have a look at this. Wow. This is kind of wild. It's kind of nuts, man. Oh no, this is a bit rough. The leader of the updates day shift has just retired. So we need to go and get ourselves a new team leader. So the updates team is mostly going to be programmers. Let's go ahead, and we don't want a night owl. What do we want? We want someone who is going to be, let's say sunshine. Let's go for that. Begin looking, and we're looking for the updates day shift. Now, who is most compatible? We have you. You can do HR, you can do automation, you can't do socialization. You know what, Ned Nichols, I think I might hire you. I'm gonna be honest. You're also a capacitor. I don't know what that means. Doesn't get tired until your energy is completely drained. You do get stressed more easily. You do get depressed during the rainy days. And then you're a born leader. You know, I'm gonna go with Ned Nichols. Is what I'm going to do. We're going to go with Ned Nichols, and we'll go into the updates day shift right there. Employees, we're looking for time with company, please. Ned, welcome. Congratulations. You're the team leader now, and you can do all that stuff as secondary. What's also interesting to note is that, well, Beverly Pope, I guess, is one of our founders, but 27 years this company has been going now. That is kind of crazy. And I want to know who, other than the founders who have all been here 27 years, it's Lee Sims, 19 years with the company, 7 sick days. In 19 years, this person has had 7 sick days. Whereas, honestly, 12 in 19 years, not bad. Not bad. It also goes to show you how long it took before I started bringing people in that have been, you know, it was a few years there that it was just the 4 of us running the company. And now look at us, $500,000. Where are we in the charts? We're the most valuable company by a considerable margin. I'll take it. I will take it, absolutely. You know, now that Vector Studio is in alpha, I would almost feel comfortable bringing it forward to July 2008. And what I'm thinking I might even do is look at my teams here, and I can see that networking and updates are doing nothing, and we can see that they all have some skill in various fields because they've been educated in, you know, varying amounts. So I might put my updates team and my networking team on Vector Studio just to give them something to do. Maybe just networking, and we'll see what happens there. Just again, to give them something to do. And then for everybody else, I mean, I guess let's look at releases. Let's go to the end phone and let's start updating this thing, because we can bring the audio levels up. We can bring the 3D levels up. And what we'll do is say that it is just going to be the updates team working on this update for the end phone 2. We'll bring the systems up as well. So we'll get that going. And then Captain Murder Stab 2, let's get an update rolling there. We'll bring the audio up to date. We'll bring the 3D up to date. We'll bring the systems up to date. And it would be nice to use something that I made to do this, but I think we're just going to deal with the licensing, and we're going to deal with what we got. So this guy, for example, will use you, and that's going to help us bring the tech levels up to date a little bit. And NerdOS 2, no bugs, but we can at least bring all of the tech up to date a little bit there as well. So we'll get that update going as well. We could update the end phone, but honestly, it's the number of active users is going down, so we'll not worry too much about it. Still a good number of active users on NerdOS, which is kind of nice, I'll be honest. It's definitely nice that they're still keen on it, but I think we'll just deal with the updates. We'll get those rolling out. We'll keep the customers happy, make them feel that we're listening to them and paying attention to what they want from our support teams and on forums and all of that nonsense. You know, now that it's January 2008, I take back what I said about Vector Studio. It's still not done with its alpha stage, so I'm glad we're pushing it a little bit. I'm glad it's in Q4 and that we can hopefully do some good things with that. Now, Amplitude Studio, we need to start printing this thing. So unless I've already started printing it, which it looks like I haven't. In fact, it looks like I have. So 75,000 copies on that maximum. There's 80,000 in stock. Vertex Studio, we could start printing you as well. We'll go for 75,000 copies of you as well. There's currently 80,000 in storage, so those can get shipped out at some point, even though it's not due out for a couple of months. Let's do this. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and, I guess, release Amplitude Studio. Now, what do they think of it? It is 5 stars. Okay, so people are not a fan of the subscription model. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to give it a $75,000 marketing budget to try and sort of outmarket the criticism is how I'm going to look at it. We'll bring the Sergeant Stampy Face priority down a little bit. Bring NerdOS down a little bit. Vertex we're going to end. Amplitude we're going to end. And is it good? It is outstanding. It's $6 at retail versus the last one, which was $75. But then it's $6 every month after that, so we'll see what happens. Let's try and bring the systems up to date a little bit. We'll bring the 2D up to date a little bit. We'll see if we can make this thing good. We'll give it this guy. We can update as quickly as possible and see. I mean, it looks like we can probably get this update out in time. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens here. People might like it, they might hate it. We'll finish the update. Marketing is sparse, which is not good at all. But this is our first subscription-based release, so I'm curious. I'm curious to see if we can actually make some money off of this thing, or if we can, you know, do anything with it. Also, I realize I probably should have ported it to a couple of things here. For example, Bot OS, which is doing very well in terms of active users. So let's get that port job going as quickly as we can, and let's just see what it does. Amplitude Studio, minus $75,000. It is minus $500,000. Wow, okay. So it has 40,000 active users, though. So it sold 81,000 copies. Right. So here's how I'm looking at this thing. Obviously, the minus 500,000 will be, I think we were giving like 20 something dollars. Like, we are losing money on sales in stores, right? I don't know if we can see exactly how much we're giving to the physical stores. Let's make this thing a little bit bigger and see if we can find anything. Physical store cut, I really don't know if it's going to give me anything. But, and this is the important thing, while it is, it's not good that it, you know, obviously lost that money. In theory, it should now start making money because this is when the subscriptions kick in. Also, we're being robbed right now. They managed to get away with some printers. Okay, let's restore that furniture. That's fine. So in theory, we can be okay. In theory, Amplitude Studio can turn it around. I don't know if it will, but in theory it can. And that's what I'm banking on right now is theory. So let's figure it. Honestly, it's a fun experiment, right? That's how I'm looking at it right now. It's a fun experiment. If it backfires, it backfires. We can just make the next one a reboot of the franchise, and it's, you know, Amplitude. It'll just be a standalone title. It'll be its own thing. It's not subscription based. Let's see what Amplitude Studio does this time around. Minus 576, minus 452. Oh no. Okay. It did increase its active users, which is great. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh man, that's rough. That is rough. It would be nice if we could see, this would be something I would really like to see in here, is a breakdown of where my money is coming from in terms of sales. Like, it'd be cool to have like a subscriptions category in here, so I can actually see, you know, where. Oh, there we go. 547,000 on subscriptions. So, essentially, in theory, what can happen here is that I guess, I guess what's going to happen is that eventually Amplitude Studio will stop selling, and that's the point at which maybe it starts making money. I'm starting to feel like subscription models aren't really very profitable in Software Inc. Although, to be fair, it was only minus 211 last month, so that's okay. And then looking at it, I mean, it has how many active users? 136,000. So 136,000 times 6 is all right. I mean, if we look at money, subscription based was almost 1 million. So maybe it'll turn a profit. I don't know how you could necessarily do a company that does everything subscription based, but whatever. I'm also wondering if we should try and make an MMO at some point. Like, make a subscription based MMO. Try and make the Software Inc. World of Warcraft or something. That'd be kind of cool. What would also be kind of cool is going ahead and releasing Vertex Studio. Now, it is being printed. Let's just release this thing. I don't think people are going to be happy about it. In terms of the tech level, it's 5 stars. They don't like it being subscription based. That's nice. I'll give it that. That's pretty good. Let's hit $75,000 for the 4 teams marketing it. Let's make that a top priority. And maybe Vertex Studio will do better. I doubt it, but I can hope, I guess. Oh man. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to this at all. Just losing money on all these things. The good news is Vector Studio is in there now, so let's get 75,000 copies of you as well. And I don't know. I don't know what we do here. It's not like we're losing the game. We have $600 million. I'm just a little disappointed that the subscription model wound up being so awful. And especially given that all of these releases are $6. So it's not like they're expensive, really. So we'll see what happens. Vertex Studio in there at minus 400. Amplitude actually did make a bit of money, which is nice. And what do you want? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So you've been with us for 19 years. You're 56. You're in the 3D team. You're a designer. You want an extra $1,673, and you're demanding a fixed rate. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's sure, I'll give you a fixed rate. That's fine. We can do that. Oh no, this is kind of cool. Amplitude Studio is 224,000 in profit there. And now, did it sell much last month? So past month was that, in stock is that. So I don't know if it's selling much, but it is starting to turn a profit now. And I have got some updates queued to bring the tech levels up a little bit. So I would assume that people will buy it more, but it might also keep the customers happy if we have regular updates going out for something that they are subscribing to in order to use. Of course, I've also got some updates for NerdOS, Enphone, NerdOS 2, and Enphone 2, but ignore those. I'm just trying to keep everyone happy and get some extra cash coming in because these subscription models are a bit more rough than I had anticipated them being. I'm genuinely a little surprised there. We also have a lot of people retiring. A lot of people retiring. I don't know that I love that. But 1.7 million on subscriptions is not bad. That's actually kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. 487,000 on Amplitude Studio. We have some bugs to fix for that, and then we can push the update out. Brian Gardner has died. They got 150,000 for that. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. That's a... I don't want to say that's a good deal. That sounds horrible, but $150,000 from his company. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. Gotta be honest. It's not a bad deal. Anyway, let's Can we get these bugs fixed, please? Why is this one bug sitting there? There we go. So get that out there. This thing is good to go as well. And then we have these other updates too. Now, looking at it, we could have actually brought Vector Studio forward. We absolutely could have brought it forward. Just keep in mind, like 462 bugs is pretty good, but it's whatever. Let's try and get this N-Phone update done before the end of the day, which we've managed to do. Is N-Phone 2 going to make us more money? 4.3 million is going to go to 5.6. Absolutely. I will absolutely take that. Amplitude Studio, now 639,000. Vertex is starting to see some money as well. So basically subscription models are exactly what I just said, right? Oh my God, someone else is dead. Hey, okay. It's what I said though. The idea is that you get it out the door and you get an install base of users and then it starts turning some money. So that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. Now, let's get this NerdOS update done as quickly as we possibly can to try and get some people happy about that. And any second now, there we go. And then N-Phone and the original NerdOS. The only reason I'm updating these is, oh my God, why? What is this? Finished printing job for Captain Murderstab 3. That's not due out for like a year. Oh no, it's due out in a couple of months. Oh, it doesn't have many followers, does it? Although the old one is doing pretty well. It doesn't have that many followers. But it has also just hit me that it is August 2008 and that thing's coming out next year. And then Horse Simulator is the following November. Not bad. Not bad. It's going to have nearly a year of beta as well, so that's that's pretty good. And just like that, Vector Studio goes out the door. We get 2 stars, 3 stars, and 5 stars. Okay, so people don't love the subscription model, but it is actually starting to turn us a bit of a profit, which is pretty cool. If we look up at the top here, even good old Vertex Studio is now turning us a profit. Amplitude Studio is turning us a profit. Overall, the subscriptions are currently at $3 million, which I'm okay with. I think that's pretty good. So it's not really the end of the world. It's definitely not the end of the world. I am thinking though, we fixed every bug for the N-Phone. Let's cancel support. We are about to fix every bug for NerdOS. So this is going to be the sunset update for NerdOS, right? So that's out there and we cancel support. We have supported them right up until the end. I think we did more for those operating system or that, you know, the original phone and the original operating system than other companies would have. It's now a little bit weird looking and seeing absolutely nothing in development other than the automated, you know, project management stuff. So we're probably going to want to start working on the N-Phone 3 and NerdOS 3. I'm not going to project manage those. But what I do want to see is how Vector Studio does. I'm just curious to see if it actually, I mean, is it good? Oh, you weren't a team leader, were you? No, okay. I want to see if it was good. Let's have a little look here. It was outstanding. Basically everything we put out is outstanding. I hope it sells. I hope people like it. I hope people want it. I also realize I've not been porting anything. So Vector Studio, let's immediately go in there with a systems update. Let's immediately go in there with a 2D update. Boom. Vertex, let's update you. You got some bugs to fix. I guess we'll do that. And Amplitude, you've got some 2D that can be updated there. So we'll go ahead and do it. We'll update. We'll close these so I don't look at them. And then it's going to be a case of porting all 3. So we have Panface X right there. So let's go ahead and port. Vertex Studio, let's get you ported over to some systems as well. So we've got these 2. And then Vector Studio, we'll go ahead and port you over to those 2 as well. And that's going to keep my update team pretty busy. But it should give us some extra customers, it'll keep the customers happy, and it should do wonderful things for us. So let's see, is Vector Studio going to be successful? It should go into the minus. If it is minus $858,000. That is, funnily enough, actually a good thing. because it means, yeah, 75,000 active users overnight is a pretty big deal. And then looking at the subscriptions, we're now 3.7 million in subscription profit. So I'll take it. I'm actually quite happy with that. That's not bad at all. We'll get these updates out. We'll get these porting jobs done, and we're going to start working on another operating system. We're going to start working on a new phone as well. And I did see some comments that suggested that we start looking into the console space. And I'm going to be honest, I want to do it. I absolutely want to do it, because I remember I did at one point say that what we were going to do was try and take the console market by storm in the early 2000s. Now, obviously, I haven't done that, but what if we try and get a big old factory built and we start trying to put out a console in, say, 2000 and, let's aim for like 12, maybe? Maybe that's what we do? Try and get a console out there in a good amount of time and see what happens. Maybe we could start trying to take the 2010s in, by storm in the console market. I don't know. Let's accept all of these and close it. We're still doing pretty good there. Both of those making some money. Vector Studio, let's see how we're doing on subscriptions here. 4.4 million. So yeah, subscriptions are turning around. That's nice. I'm happy about this. I feel like the company's in a really good spot. So with that in mind, I guess we're going to leave it there for today. There's not really a whole lot left to say. We got a lot of work ahead of us. It's kind of nice to be busy. It's kind of nice to be successful. We're the most valuable company that exists. So I think consoles really are the only field that we have left to tackle. So I guess my question or my request is this. Leave some suggestions in the comments below for what you think our console mega factory should look like. Because to be completely honest with you, I actually don't have any ideas for buildings floating around at the minute. I did with all the other ones, but this time I'm not so sure. But whatever we decide is going to have to wait until next time, because that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.